Hey guys, it's Friday, September 16th, and tonight the Edmonton Eskimos travel east to take on the Hamilton TiCats. Both sides will be looking for the bounce-back game after losses in their Labor Day rematch. Hamilton has proven to be an inconsistent squad this year. You're never really sure which version of the black and gold is going to step out onto the field, and their 5-5 record reflects that. In trying to find a reason for the unpredictability, I looked first at Kevin Glenn, but he's been completing a respectable 62% of his passes, has thrown 15 touchdowns, and notched only 6 interceptions. I can't, in good conscience, put the blame on his shoulders. So instead, I looked at the receiving corps. Nope, no visible reason there either. Dave Stala has pulled in 7 touchdown passes, Chris Williams is having a breakout season, and Bakari Grant is making a name for himself in Hamilton as well. They'll be going up against an Eskimo secondary that gave up over 400 yards of offense to the Stampeders in their rematch game last week. Now, it also helps the offense that the backfield is occupied by all-star Avon Coburn. Now, despite the fact that he only rushed for 2 yards last week, he is a dangerous threat. So, what's going on in Steeltown? Do you then point the finger at the defense? I don't think that's entirely fair either. Justin Hickman is catching up in the sack race, sitting second in the league with 7, and Stevie Baggs is not far off with 4 of his own. Now, the secondary also does a solid job, having picked themselves a total of 5 errant footballs. So if the TiCats know how to work well on offense, and the defense knows how to shut an opposition down, where can you point? Try as I might, I have no definitive answer to that. A win tonight would even the score with the Eskimos and keep them right in the teeth of the Eastern playoff race. In fact, combined with a loss by the Alouettes, the TiCats could even land in second place in the East this week. If that's not motivation enough to get consistent, I don't know what is. Now, as for the Eskimos, they come into this game having won only 1 of their past 5 games, but they did trounce the Tabbies the last time these two teams met. Granted, since then the injury bug has been prevalent, but this week they are back almost completely to full strength and have had a full week to recuperate and practice. There are no excuses for poor play tonight. The defense is getting a boost with the return of team interceptions leader Rod Williams, who has pulled in 4 balls all to himself, and the continued presence of Greg Peach is always a good thing for that group. The standout in the last 4 games, though, has been defensive end Marcus Howard. He joined the Eskimos at the beginning of August and has notched at least 1 sack in each of his last 4 games. I'll be surprised if the TiCats' offensive line can hold him back all night. And for the offense, well, Ricky Ray will have a full slate of receivers once again. Fred Stamps has had that extra week to really work himself back into the playbook, and he should draw some extra coverage from a TiCat secondary that allowed more than 500 yards of offense in their Labor Day rematch against the Alouettes last week. His complement, of course, is Darius Bowman, who spent his first 2 games back from injury, re-establishing himself as an immensely credible downfield threat. When the Eskimos beat the TiCats back in July, they balanced their attack very effectively on the running ability of Jerome Messon. I know Eskimo fans will be hoping for his resurgence tonight as well. Now, it's a tough game to call, as Hamilton sports a 4-1 home record, the Eskimos are 3-2 on the road, and trying to figure out which version of each team will show up is starting to give me a headache. If you go simply on atoning for an embarrassing loss, the TiCats have the clear emotional advantage after losing 43-13 to the Alouettes, and actually they have statistically the second most potent offense in the league. However, the Eskimos have given up the fewest points overall, which, in my opinion, makes them one of the more potent defenses. And the return of a couple 100% game speed guys is never a bad thing. Now, if the Eskimos play the way they did on Labor Day, I don't think they'll lose to anyone. But if the TiCats play the way they did on Labor Day, I don't think they can be beaten either. Now, it's going to be an intense back and forth offensive shootout, but I think the Tabbies come out of this one on top.